Okay, hi guys. So if you follow ex-UFC fighters, or maybe you watched their CGI grappling event last weekend, you'll be aware of a person called Luke Rockhold, a very experienced fighter and grappler. A few days, I believe, before the tournament, he put up an interesting video showing him displaying this kind of like listing posture. He's kind of buckled over to one side, complaining of a back injury. So believe it or not, it's actually a fairly common muscular imbalance and kind of change gait and posture pattern that I see quite regularly with back issues. I've got an example of my client's Mark here displaying the same thing, and also showing by doing the right sort of thing over sort of 5-10 minutes, you can actually correct it in the short term. So what's going on? So quite commonly when we have an issue, particularly with lateral stability around the lumbar spine, the body will try and solve that problem by reaching down some muscles around the thighs and the hips to correct that problem and generate some stability. So if we see a big, strong change in posture, then it must be a big, strong muscle that's doing that compensation work. So again, first thing to check is the thighs and the quads. Usually it's either rectus femoris or potentially vastus lateralis on the outside. But what we'll do with a foam roller to check and see if this is happening, we'll just check one leg at a time. I'll expect to see a big difference in terms of tightness and soreness on one side. And that side that feels tight and very sore is picking up that extra slack and extra work that the core isn't doing, and that workload's going into muscle. It's not designed to be doing that work, which is why it's kind of tight and very unhappy. So with the foam roller on two sides, if we notice that, if we can get that tight side in particular to start letting go, again, might not get rid of it all in one go, but if we can get a 10 to 20% change over the course of 2 minutes, you might want to do multiple rounds, but if you can get it to let go a little bit, you will suddenly notice that you can stand bolt upright again. Like with Mark, exactly the same thing happened. So that isn't going to fix the problem long term. That will fix the symptom of that overcorrection with the wrong muscles. Long term, what we need to do is work out why that compensation is occurring. Usually it's because of pain and instability, and how that affects what we call arthrogenic muscular inhibition. What that basically means is that certain muscles that we need to use, their signal, their software becomes corrupted, and that extra workload has to go somewhere. So the body's going to grab hold of some sort of muscle to take up that slack. So what I would expect to see in this kind of injury and pain compensation is there'd be a massive deficiency in lateral stability between the two sides. Again, we can easily check that with a level 2 side bridge held for time. So we're going to come up smoothly into position, try and make nice straight lines, nice solid position. And what we're looking for is if you get any sort of grab in the back or an unusual pain around the hips or the back, that's a sign that that lateral stability on that side is weak. Or if you start to shake quite a lot as well, you're definitely at the limit. So we get to that point, we either get pain or we get shaking instability, that's the limit for that side, and then we test the other side. What we're looking for over time, if there's more of a discrepancy in like 10 seconds between the two sides, regardless of what you get overall, if there's a bit more than a 10-second difference, I mean there's a huge discrepancy with lateral stability. Long term, solving that lateral stability issue is what's going to prevent that listing from coming back, because you would have fixed that instability issue. But short term, that roller test and rolling out those quads can be a useful tool just to get you back upright short term. But again, long term, you need a bit of investigation work. 9 times out of 10, when someone's listed over, I'll find a lateral instability issue, and there'll be a difference between the two sides that we need to correct over time that will stop that from coming back.